Good day, Simmers. Welcome once again to SIMantha's FreePlay channel. In this episode, we will learn how to create or build an open basement, which is actually a glitch in construction. Now, before I teach you how to create that open basement, let me first take you on a tour around this latest build that I just finished. And this particular house that I have recently designed actually has that open basement. And despite the fact that I am very tired after several hours of completing this build, I am very happy with how this particular house that I have designed had turned out. So let me show you around, and we're gonna be discussing each room as we go along. Also, just before I forget, I would like to say thanks and give credit to Camila Lyon. I learned the open basement glitch through her, and this is the reason why finally one of my builds has this really amazing structure in my sim town. The color motif for this entire build is mainly black and white plus a lot of greens. And then on the front lawn, I decided to create a space where to park the car. And then I also created a footpath. And the gate is a 1x2 patio with a couple of patio gates. And for the footpath, I used these brown rugs that look like wood. And toward the left portion of the front lawn, I created a couple of R&R area for my sim to relax. The first one near the main door is actually what you can call an outdoor spa. Now that hot tub is actually the one from Claw's compound, so I transferred it here. And then right beside it is a mini garden. It has a couple of benches where my sim can relax, take a nap. And then I also included a fountain, some plants and flowers. It's also overseeing the open basement mezzanine area. And I added a duck pond. We are now going to take a look inside the house, and we will start with the second floor. This floor is mainly consisting of the master's bedroom, and it has windows that's overlooking the open basement and mezzanine area. The stairs that I used here are actually from the Botanica penthouse, the latest site that we developed in Simtown Express. And then this couple of trees, it also came from the Botanica penthouse. And you can see my sim on the ground floor, or the first floor. She's in the kitchen and she's cooking, and then this is the dining area. Let's go underground to the basement, and this is where you will find the toilet and bath. And then beside it, you will see the living room. And then beside the living room, that's where you will find the mezzanine area, or the open basement. The green chair that's near the door, I got that from the Botanica penthouse as well. And the idea that I put together for the open basement is that of a forest and a garden combined. So there you have it. But let me also show you what this build actually would look like during nighttime. It will just be quick so that we can already move on to the open basement tutorial. So from here, we'll switch to a different lot so that we can move on to creating the open basement. And we will be using the mezzanine option as well as the L-shaped room option. So if you don't have the L-shaped room option or the mezzanine, make sure that you have been able to unlock them for you to be able to create the open basement. To unlock the mezzanine option, you need to complete the All Messed Up quest. And for the L-shaped rooms, you need to consult with Lee the mechanic. You can find her at the nightclub. She's this girl in yellow overalls. But most importantly, you should have basement access. So you should finish Basement of Kings quest. Let's now go into build mode and let's create the open basement. So the first thing that you will need to do is to click on the basement option. It will take you straight to the basement, and from the basement we will be creating an 8x8 room. After creating the 8x8 room, we will now go upper ground. And on here, we will be creating a 7x7 room, but it should be aligned to the 8x8 room underground. Next, click on the L-shaped room option and then extend a 1x1 room on the upper left-hand most corner of this room. This is the room on the upper ground that we are extending. Next, we're going to select the mezzanine option. And then we will be highlighting the entire 7x7 space to create the mezzanine. Next, you will need to extend the mezzanine area to include the L-shaped part of the room. And you can just follow the way I will do it. And this is what it will look like, but as you can see, this is not yet an open basement. We have just created the mezzanine. Next thing we will do is to create the open basement, and this is where the glitch will happen. So we go back to build mode. We select the room option this time. And then once we're there, we will be resizing the room on the upper ground. So essentially the size of the open basement will depend upon you. It will be up to your preference. But I'll do it just like the last build that I did with the open basement. And there you have it. Now you have your open basement. You can actually create additional rooms alongside this open basement, just like I did with the last house that we had a tour. So let me show you an example. I'm going to be adding another room beside the initial room we created at the basement. And then I'll be doing the same thing upper ground. So size of the room will depend on how you prefer it. And having said that, the initial rooms we created earlier for the basement and the room upper ground, remember the 8x8 on the basement and 7x7 on the upper ground, that's not like a standard. It will still be up to you. So the idea is that the basement room should be bigger than the room upper ground. It should be one room bigger so that the glitch will work. Rooms can be added on either side of the open basement, and the open basement can also be created on your preferred side of the lot. So that's it for the open basement. Until the next episode, happy simming!